Greetings, one and all. The NHL free agency has been active for the last 48 hours or so, and you can go and watch the recording of my free agency podcast if you want to see my reactions of most of day one signings. However, on day two, it was rather quiet, except for Patrick Marleau, who was one of the big question marks going into free agency as to where he would end up for the upcoming season. Would he stay with the San Jose Sharks or would he move on to a different team? Well, yesterday that question was answered as it was announced that Patrick Marleau signed a 3-year contract with the Toronto Maple Leafs with an average annual value of $6.25 million. Now, Marleau has played his entire 19-year career with the San Jose Sharks in the NHL and had 46 points, 27 goals, 19 assists last season. He has left quite an impact on the Sharks franchise, as he is the Sharks' all-time leader in points with 1,082, goals with 508, game-winning goals with 98, power play goals 160, short-handed goals 17, and games played at 574. He is also second in assists with 574, behind none other than Joe Thornton, who has 722, and who signed a 1-year contract to remain with the San Jose Sharks for the upcoming season. So here comes my opinion on this contract for the Toronto Maple Leafs and Patrick Marleau. Now, I know there's a few years before some of the Maple Leafs rookies like Matthews, Nylander and Marner will need the monster contract extensions that they are likely going to be due. But what on earth are Toronto thinking with this contract? Signing a 37, almost 38-year-old to a 3-year contract worth $6.25 million a year is just ridiculous, in my opinion. 2 years at $5 million, and that makes more sense, especially for a guy with the caliber of Patrick Marleau. But $6 million for 3 years? Damn, Toronto. That just... I don't understand that, personally. I mean, I'm not a GM. I'm being a full armchair GM at the moment. But I don't really understand this decision. Sure, Marleau scored 27 goals last year, but I think this is a very bad idea for the Maple Leafs, as Marleau now has a big target on his back, especially from the Toronto media, and the expectations for him are huge. If he plays like a 38-year-old usually does in the National Hockey League, he is not going to live up to that contract, and he has set himself up to underperform on the expectations of the organisation, his fan base, and the bloodthirsty Toronto media. This isn't a Sunbelt franchise where you can get the odd rumour or odd bit of controversy. This is the bright lights of Ontario. This is Ontario hockey media. And any time they have a chance to pounce on a player, they will do it. Just look at Phil Kessel, for example. However, of course, Patrick Marleau isn't like most 38-year-olds that have ever played in the National Hockey League, and he will put up likely some very good numbers. He's probably still a 40-45 point guy, maybe more if he plays on a line with Matthews and Nylander, which is very likely, but I think it's just too much money for a guy like Marleau, in my opinion. I mean, looking on the bright side, though, we can think of this a bit positively as well. I think they did an alright job with the term. I think they did alright with the term that they gave him. If I was Lou Lamoriello, I would have aimed for more of a 2-year deal at most. I would have rather have gone a 1-year deal, but 2-year at most. But he obviously knows what he's doing with this team, as he did take them from a basement dweller to a Stanley Cup contender in 1 year. But I'm not a huge fan of the term. I would have preferred 2 million or 2 years at $5 million. That would make so much more sense to me. I would have solace in that fact. I'd be like, yep, this is good. He has a chance to mentor these young guys, play well with these young guys, and he will be fine. And the team will be fine. There won't be any salary cap issues. I just think if they're going to be signing guys like Matthews, Nylander, and Marner in the next few years, I think most of them have about 2 years. That's the perfect cutoff point for Marleau's contract. 2 years, because then it's, okay, we now have $6 million extra dollars to spend on re-signing Marner or re-signing Matthews, because the way that they've played this year, they deserve big contracts when it comes to that point, provided they carry that on, which it looks like they will. And there you go! What do you think about Patrick Marleau's new contract with the Toronto Maple Leafs? Is it good? Bad, or do you hate the Leafs? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear what you think. But thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you have enjoyed. Please feel free to like, subscribe, share, or watch some of my other videos. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye!